Hey guys, here to tell you about one of the best things that me and Joe use to save us money, and that is Rocket Money, guys. Joe, how long has it been since you told me about Rocket
It's been a
Money?
long time. It's been very helpful. Sometimes there's price increases and you miss those notifications. This lets you keep track and budget.
Joe is the one that told us about this. At first, I was kind of scared to download it. I was like, nah, this has to do with my bank and this and that. But I am so glad. That was many years ago, and now I feel on top of everything. I like to see things come in. I like to know exactly what my money is being spent on. I get the notifications. Like just now, I got a notification for Reface, like a subscription, for my gifts and stuff. It's like, oh, I need to cancel that, right? So I can go and cancel it very easily. So guys, this is an extremely helpful app. It has saved us money over the years, and it's free. That's the best part. If you want, there are more features that you can unlock with premium, but you can download this app for free. So check it out at rocketmoney.com/angryjoeshow. And yeah, it's something that I use every day, and I think that you will really enjoy and stay on top of your finances too, because that's what we're here to do, is save you money, guys. So thank you so much, and I hope you download the app, and I hope you enjoy the video. Check it out. Hey guys, we just got back from The Running Man 2015, which stars Glenn Powell. 2025. 2025. I don't know where I'm at, but yeah, this is obviously an update to the, at least the one that I know is The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It is a legend. I fucking love it.
It may not be great, but I honestly like it way
How
better.
Dare you?
Look, this you're just there for the cool action scenes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Sub-Zero. Okay, but yes, we'll talk about it. This one, though, is more based on, well, why, number one, why do we need this? Right? I was questioning that to begin with, but Alex told me that this film is more like the book, or the short story, rather, that Stephen King wrote about this with Ben Richards, and I forgot about that. I didn't even know that for the longest time, that that Arnold's movie wasn't even, it was based on a book. And so this one is more original to that. Does it make it better? Does it make it worse? I'm just going to come right out and say it up front. The original Running Man is way better. Yes. The personalities, the gladiators that are thrown against our hero are just more entertaining to watch. The corporate fight, it feels better. The villains are better, and Arnold has so much charisma. Now, that's not taking anything away from leading man Glenn Powell. In fact, fun fact, went to the same school as me and Joe. I think he was like 2 grades below us at the time. Very happy for him, Austin, Texas. And I want nothing but success for the man. I think he's cool as hell. Come hang out with us. We'll play some board games. We'll play some video games. But it just, I don't know if it was Edgar Wright, because it didn't feel like an Edgar Wright film. Edgar Wright, if you don't know, very famous for Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, The World's End, Ant-Man, Baby Driver. He has a certain style about him, a certain artistic voice. And I don't know, I just kind of didn't pick up the style here. It felt, and this may be the book, because I didn't read the book or I don't know the short story, it just felt really messy. Right?
Yes.
And then the dialogue in this film lets it down. Yeah, Arnold's version, he's throwing out one-liners. So it's like an action film. It's a popcorn flick. You just go with it. But here they're taking it super serious. And there's all this melodrama at the beginning. Oh, my daughter is sick with the flu. And then and he can't get everybody. It's just so hyper Bollock, everything in it. It's just hyper. It's a parody. It's a satire of corporate America and a dystopian future where the poor are super poor and the rich are super rich, and the poor literally have to, work and bleed and barely make ends meet. They can't even afford fucking medicine. All they can afford is fake medicine that helps them feel better rather than real medicine, while the country essentially falls apart. But then I think my biggest problem with the film is none of it made sense. Like, within the universe, it didn't make sense. I was surprised with the amount of sci-fi and the world and the sets. It kind of looked kind of expensive. And then I was like, I'm not sure if this movie's going to make his money back. Budget was $110 million.
Ooh, it's not making his money back.
Yeah, because there was some expensive shots in here, and you got Josh Brolin, and I thought, okay, perfect. You got the leading man or the showrunner, right, and this producer of this Running Man show, which kills the contestants and runs for ratings and will do anything at any cost. Unfortunately, is not really in the film. A lot at the beginning and a little bit at the end, and I was just expecting more. And even the announcer, that the
Booker,
I don't know his name.
Bobby T.
I like this guy. I was hoping that there would be some one-liners that Glenn could throw at him and get him involved, but not even he's involved. And so what do you have? Well, you have Glenn Powell performance, and I think Glenn does a great job in it. He's intense. He's angry. It's almost too much at times because the world didn't quite grip me and make me believe it. But it's just him going to a series of wacky side characters like Michael Cera and then I swear to God, like in the last 15 minutes of the film, a major character is introduced, and I'm supposed to care about the plight of this person and how it factors in. It's like, what? The movie's almost done. And the movie does feel a little long too. And so, and ultimately, the hunters that they throw at him, they're generic assholes. There's no charisma here. There's no, I don't know, the je ne sais quoi. It just doesn't. Now, there's explosions and there's action, but it just never quite hits almost any of its jokes. Like, it kept trying to do jokes, and I never laughed at any of them. However, I was entertained as soon as I saw this is completely different from Arnold's version.
Oh, yes.
I was like, how is this going to end? Are they going to do this big, like, let's fight back against the man thing at the end? Is Ben Richards going to end? How does this whole thing end? The book has an ending, the original ending, which we'll talk about in spoilers, that is different. And so I'm curious how they were going to... So I was in it to watch it to the end, and I was curious where the plot was going. But ultimately, it didn't work as well as I was hoping. And that's the risk that you run when you remake something. Now, I know this is based on the book more, but when you remake something that's already, in my opinion, good. Like if they did Big Trouble in Little China again with Dwayne Johnson. That's the kind of thing that I think this would be.
Don't put that into
Or Total
existence.
Recall. Arnold keeps having his films remade with Colin Farrell and other people, and it just doesn't have the same feeling to it. So I ended up not... I won't say it's a bad film because I was entertained, but I just don't think it was worth it.
I agree. I don't think it's worth it. I was disappointed. I was honestly pretty bored. In the middle,
you were bored.
I was bored. Like an
hour. Bored.
I was
damn.
like an hour in. It was like day 5. I'm like, oh shit, he still has 25 more days. We're going day after day after day.
You were hoping that they would do like a fast forward. Okay, spent 13 days in an underground bunker.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Because honestly, like I was honestly getting bored. The pacing was very slow for me, and a lot of the stuff is like, oh, the family, this family, that. Then we meet the characters like, well, my family is sicker than your family, so you have to feel sorry for our family too. He's like, well, I'll help you.
And then we run into another disadvantaged family and another disadvantaged family with a sad backstory, and it's like...
Yeah, and it's kind of hard not to compare to the original one, because, again, like you said, The other one had like fucking Fireball, like Jim Brown, Jesse, Captain
Ventura, yeah, and
Dynamo.
it was very focused.
Those characters were great. This is like the hunters. You don't give a shit about these hunters. These hunters don't have any personality, nothing. They feel fucking boring. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this one's gonna have a different kind of twist. I was like, all right, well, maybe more people. Everyone is with their cameras. Everyone's gonna start playing a role in this. Like, oh, he's here. It didn't really
even
factor. It really didn't factor into it that much. A lot of it was just like him and like, I guess the stupid hunters would come around every so often.
I never bought the rules. None of it made any sense. It's like, how many hunters are there? Every single scene, the hunters show up after 5 seconds of something. It's like, this is unrealistic. It just...
Yeah, and I didn't like this, and then I thought like it was kind of gonna be like the original, where you had these three people. It's like maybe they'll try to team up or something, but no, everyone like there's three people immediately separate. You don't really get to see their kind of side. It would have been nice, I guess, just kind of like, all right, well, like there's a lot of Glenn. I know he's the main star, but like kind of show the other ones kind of fucking up.
You got a nerdy guy, and you got the chick from Star Wars that was like a badass.
Yeah, like kind of show their side. Show a different perspective or something, them fucking up or like
or banding together or something factoring into the show when it was all used for, the show likes to hire certain or recruit certain personality types, and you're the final guy personality
you got the nerdy
type.
guy, this guy's
just
like, but I wanted to
hammer it into the dumbass audience that they're always going to make it, and they're going to allow him to try to make it.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see their perspective as well, to kind of be like, okay, this is kind of dangerous, but you don't really see that. They use it as a fucking humor thing. It's like, oh, that's funny. He died because he was flirting with a girl.
Yeah.
Funny.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been funny if they made it funny, but it wasn't funny.
Exactly. So, like, honestly, I was fucking bored because, again, a lot of it was like, just family drama after family drama after family drama. Some action, but again, I don't really care about the fucking hunters. They were boring.
Joe, Alex, isn't this film is a series of ridiculous coincidences and being at the right place at the right time, and the only person on the planet that has the equipment to help him at that particular time, at that particular moment, shows up at that particular area of a highway, or he connects with another person who just so happens to be an underground radio show host that is exposing and has all the research. And it's like, if he just went left in this hallway and instead of right, then none of the movie would have happened. And when you had that once, twice, 17 times in a row,
I was honestly taken out.
It gets crazy.
I was taken out, so I was already bored.
Yeah.
So it was kind
of hard.
And
by the time he meets Michael
Cera,
I'm like, what? This is like a parody. This is over the top. But if you want to do that, then it has to be either funny or entertaining, like the Arnold one.
Yes,
or
exactly.
But it
with those
wasn't.
characters, it was fucking crazy.
It lacked the charisma. It lacked the talent of the jokes to make us laugh. I did like Glenn, and I did like the way the book kind of went, right? But it just didn't have purpose to me.
Yeah, this isn't very good. This actually may be his worst movie.
Edgar Wright?
Yeah, I think the base story is fine. I like the idea of, you just have to survive 30 days. You have to. Why
doesn't somebody just dig a hole, Alex, and then eat in the hole?
Once every 12 hours, you have to film yourself with a big ass recorder and go to a specific drop off point. So that's the danger. That's how they're supposed to keep all this thing alive. But then they kind of abandon that halfway through the movie.
Yeah,
the movie is kind of disjointed.
They said he was going to pre-record, but. Is that breaking the rules?
Technically, it would be, yeah. It's a super disjointed movie, and I totally get where he's saying he was bored, because there are some interesting moments here and there. They're kind of speckled throughout, but they're so loosely connected, and they can't get any momentum going, because it's like, we're going okay, now we're in the boring part again. We're gonna no,
yeah. And then look at these fun cast of characters, and then then it's gone.
There's reveals in this movie that could have been interesting. There are hidden characters. There's wasted actors that are big in this movie, and it's just this wasn't. I don't know if it was Edgar Wright or whoever specifically wrote this, but like you fucked it up. Like I think you did a really poor job with this movie. Like if you're gonna go big and you're gonna go over the top, I think there was a way to do it, and like the 1980s version is probably the way to do it.
Yes.
And it's really tough because I just don't. I didn't find this movie that entertaining. I didn't find it that interesting. I don't think that any of the action scenes were that great. I don't think the political message was all that interesting because they didn't really do anything with it. The kind of the twists and the turns are just kind of as a matter of factly laid out, and you're like,
unbelievable.
And it's like, wait a minute, this is something we could have been building towards the entire time, and it would have been fucking interesting.
Right.
And instead, it's just kind of like
little hints.
Hey,
he's building people up.
This guy's here. It's like, oh, cool. Who's that? And he's like, I'm this guy. And it's like, you have to build up to these moments because if you just like, I'm John. And you're like, who are you?
Who the fuck is John?
You're like, who is this guy? It's like, I showed
up. And then by the end of the film, like, there's fans of the fucking show that are like, I'm raving, like they're fucking foaming at the mouth for Ben Richards or Ben whatever, and he doesn't really earn it.
Yeah, and so like they go way over the top in the beginning, and it's fine. If we had stuck with the over the top thing where he's the angriest contestant that's ever been on the show, and if we went to the whole melodramatic thing where and we kept that up, including the action scenes, including the political messages, kind of like the one they did in the 80s, I think it works. The problem is we started big and ridiculous, and then we went back down to realism, and then kind of ridiculous again, and then back down to realism. And when you're constantly dilating this whole thing, the world feels sloppily put together. And I think world building is so important in a movie like this. And I don't want to compare it to but the first one did a very good job showing like there's the haves and the have-nots, and it's like,
and then the audience slowly joins the side,
and they start to realize,
Arnold.
and it's like, look, I think the first one is probably a terrible fucking movie that I love. Because
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all are crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
But
like,
I mean,
look it up. You watch it, it's not that great. But it's a great watch.
It is. Arnold was perfect for almost all of those movies because you knew that they were going to be fucking ridiculous and have a good time.
Yes.
But honestly, they did good world building in that movie because it totally made sense and things worked. I think they did a really poor job with the world building, and then I think that's why you get bored because you're like, why are we dealing with this? Why are we dealing with this weird real estate agent? And we're sitting in a car. It's like none of this feels important, and then they set up this thing where it's like any citizen can report him for $3,000, and it's like it's not $3,000 because the economy is different. That ends up being like hundreds of thousands of dollars if you end up getting him killed. And we're just supposed to buy like Wonder Woman 2, where everyone bands together and everyone's just gonna
with signs and stuff, and then they're throwing shit. At the stage, people have to have their own personal investment if they feel fucking lied to or something. But the film, they already know they're being lied to. They already know they're being oppressed. But but the original film made that way better, because they felt betrayed and stuff, and they were being exposed. And here they do the same thing where they do the deep fakes and they have them say stuff to piss the audience off. But then in the very next scene, the audience is not pissed off anymore, and they're on his side. It's like, well, you need to show that transition, or he needs to expose it on satellite or live that it was a lie, and otherwise you'll still have those pockets of resistance that believe the state's story, and that for 20,000 of these bucks, which is probably 200,000, they just pop, and the fucking thing is over. And so it just feels like we're going from thing to thing and just hurry up and go to the next thing. But it doesn't feel real. It just feels weird.
Exactly, because the family that was helping him, and he turns in the video's like a fake. And they see it. It's like, that's not what I said. She's like, get out of my house. I was like, that's not what I said. He's helping your daughter. He's doing all this stuff.
With cancer.
Yes. And you don't believe him?
And
he's like, get out. So then
not even
he gets out.
Well, even to make it matters worse is the son is actually the grand poobah of all internet conspiracy theorists that knows how evil the network is.
Right, but the street urchin kid is the one that brought him to that poobah. And because he just so happened to see where he was and the manhole covered at the same.
But the mom is in there like, oh, how dare you say those things, and then no one sticks up for him in any of the. It's just like it is such poor world building that
don't think about it. We're going to the next scene. And that's how it is.
It's so hard for me to get immersed in something like that. And look, I know it's fucking The Running Man. I'm not supposed to be immersed in it. But the problem is, it's like when you don't have...
Or believability.
Yeah, it's not believable. And the dialogue isn't particularly good. And there was a couple of decent action scenes, but there's a lot of boring parts in between them. So it's just like, I was bored.
So... let's talk about the action scene. So towards the end, I started to okay, now we're on a plane. You got the hunters on the plane. He's on the plane. He's got this plan how he can hatch the network and trap the network, but then the network hatches their own plan and uses his family and all this stuff. So I thought that was compelling because it's like, how are you going to get this out of here? So that action scene was good. What?
I was checked out.
You were all checked out by then.
So
okay.
what was interesting,
and then, go ahead.
There's a really, like right before we get to that point, he understands the game. And the game isn't, him winning or losing. The game is ratings, right? The network that controls the government, controls everything, wants ratings. And he looks in the camera, he's like, I'm going to give you the best ratings. And whoever you put between me and my family, I will kill them. Like, cool, the movie's going to ramp up. We're finally get to the thing. He's figured it out. He's going to do as much. He's going to become like an agent of chaos and blow up all these things.
Yes.
And then none of that happens.
And he's MacGyver.
And then none of that happens at all.
Instead, he gets lucky because he sees one car coming down the road that is playing, the fucking Taylor Swift music and shit. And then he captures this girl, and then we're supposed to care about her plight.
And then she thinks he's the devil, but then she realized that he has a heart of gold, and maybe she and her negative feelings towards the poor was the real bad guy the whole time, and then she immediately becomes like a little lackey.
This was more focused on these quirky characters that he happens to run into them over and over and over, rather than Arnold's film where it's like it is a competition and the gladiators are coming at you one at a time and things are getting out of control. The network's getting worried and they're having to do it, and then the audience is like, what's going on here? And I'm with that guy. It's just way better build-up.
Yes.
This was a fucking mess. And I think it was too long too.
It was
very
long.
I was like,
2
it
hours
felt
and
like
13 minutes.
Yeah.
it felt like 3 hours.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, there's 3 movies in here.
It's like an hour in. It's like day
It's a TV.
5,
It's a
day
TV
6,
show.
Day
If
7,
they had done
go.
like a 6-episode, 8-episode, and throw gladiators in, then it would have worked a lot more.
Yeah. In the original, Arnold allies himself with really smart people that know how to bring the government down, and it's smarts that bring down hubris. In this, none of that shit happens. Everyone on the good guy side is an absolute fucking moron, and it just happens to be resolved in a way that kind of works out. But it's not people... They're not tearing down the network. There is no situation where they play real messages and say it's been propaganda the whole time. It just kind of fucking happens.
Evolves.
It just
It's the cringy shit at the end too. Like they try to do that RoboCop thing where you've got these satire ads that are taken seriously. Don't start me on that, Joe. Now you got it in my head, and I'll sing it the rest of the day. But it doesn't work. And then this cringy underground thing, and I'm just rolling my eyes the whole time as they're explaining the epilogue. They're explaining the ending of the film instead of showing it, as if they knew they ran out of time and we're gonna wrap this shit up. How does Ben Richards or Simmons, whatever's his name, Richards
Ben
get
Simmons.
out of this?
yeah, he's bad basketball player.
I don't know. And then is he alive? Did he make
Richard
it out?
lives.
Did he win? And then the audience is like, Richard lived. And just we're not trying to spoil anything for you. I mean, this is a book and a movie that's already happened, so I'm gonna stay away from spoilers exactly how it unfolds. But I just thought it was cringy and dumb by the end.
Yep.
And I did appreciate some of the action set pieces. Like the trailer made this big deal about this fucking super soaker and electricity, and I thought there would be like this Home Alone thing, and you do get that with Michael Cera.
But we saw it in the trailers.
It didn't have any impact because you saw it in the trailers, and it happened so fast. It's almost like, oh, that wasn't as cool as I was hoping it would be. But yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the trailer had all the best parts.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I'd see a Michael Cera movie versus Jesse Eisenberg. Those two guys that have that nervous energy shit. I couldn't really recognize Michael Cera, but it looks like Michael Cera won or lost because Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I think may have made more money. Of course, it's the third film in the franchise.
Yeah, I liked it better.
Yeah. So, all right, well, let's go to final verdicts. Running Man. Should you go running to see Running Man in the theaters?
My opinion is no. Wait for it whenever it is streaming. It is a below average film. I'm going to go with the 4. The action scenes, like I said, were in the trailer. There's no really memorable, cool characters here besides, obviously, Glenn, Ben. He's like the main character. We just follow him the entire round. But it's just like, sad song or sad moment. I was just there to be entertained with these fucking crazy goons or whatever. But
that's what they call them. They call them goons. Every time he kills a goon, he gets like an $80,000 bonus.
Yeah. So, but he doesn't really do that. He does it accidentally.
Yeah.
But
there's a big reveal at the end too about well, we'll get to it.
Yeah, like Alex said, I wanted it to be like, okay, you know what? You're going to stop me from or do something to my family. I'm going to fucking destroy everything who gets in my way. And then I was along for that ride, but nothing happened.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
We didn't do that at all. He's like, oh, no, it's like I'm the good guy and all this is like too much of a mess.
I thought that his need to save everybody all the time would factor in, and it doesn't really. It was just there to let us know that he's a good guy.
But we already fucking know that.
But you got to factor it into the story to make me be like, and root for him for winning and saving people.
Yeah.
But he kind of just gives into it and shoots. Maybe this is a problem with the book. And all these criticisms are like, Edgar's like, hey, man,
you can change Stephen King's books when you make a movie. I know.
Like Arnold.
Remember It? We talk about it all the time. It's like you can absolutely take shit out of his books.
Yeah. So the pacing on it was like really bad for me. It was just all over the place.
It's a disappointment.
Yeah, it was. And again, with these characters that kind of show up at the end, I think William Macy was fucking great.
He's always good.
But they honestly didn't use him very much.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I agree with it. I think it's slightly below average.
And that's hilarious that he knew that guy, too. That's yet another guy that he just happened to know so that he can get...
Yeah. I think it's really bad world building. I think that the story could have worked. It's just not the way they presented it. You don't feel good about any character's ability to overcome anything because it just kind of accidentally happens. Yes. And so it's not satisfying. When things kind of accidentally happen in a movie, it's hard to be like, yeah, we did it. It's like, but it wasn't the characters you're rooting for making smart decisions or getting the...
What happened?
Camera's off.
What?
Okay,
Why?
one of the cameras just went off. Give us 1 second. I'm going to leave this into review because I hate having to re-edit everything or refilm it. All right, we sorted it out. Ran out of space on the SD card, but what were we in the middle?
I don't think the world building was particularly good. I think we wasted a bunch of characters. And what sucks is I think there is something interesting here, right? Mm-hmm. We had the talk of other people who had played the game before and reveals that could have happened, kind of like in the first one, and there's things that could have happened, but we don't explore any of those things, and things just kind of happen to the characters, and I don't think it's particularly interesting when things just kind of accidentally happen over and over and over and over in this movie, so it doesn't really feel satisfying. It definitely overstayed its welcome, and while there are a couple cool action scenes that kind of get you through if you have some popcorn and maybe a beer or two, I do think it fits just slightly below average.
4 out of 10. And Joe, what was yours? 4 out of 10. Yeah, damn, man, I hate to do this to Glenn, but I mean, because he does his performance is intense.
Good movies, but
he's got charisma, he's got chops, and I like it. But they all can be winners, I think. And tackling this one, you have to have the right crew. And I thought Edgar Wright could maybe pull it off. I mean, his films with Simon Pegg are fucking legendary.
Hot Fuzz is one of the greatest movies of all time.
And you did mention the writing is a mess. I looked up the writer. It's Edgar and this other guy called Michael Bacall, and he wrote 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. But I guess maybe by the time it got to this, because it's not a straight comedy, the tonal, there's definitely tonal things here. And I actually noticed several overdubs where they didn't say the thing that they said. So I think there's something going on in the editing bay here that it was just a little bit of a mess. So let's see. It's not one, and I think I have to go a 4 out of 10 too. I was about to do a 5, like an average film. It's fine, you can have fun, but would I watch this again over the because when that original one comes on, I watch it to the end. It's that good. It's that rewatchable. This,
Guilty
I think, is
pleasure.
so long. It overstays its welcome. It pounds all of its fucking preachiness. Even though I'm with it. I hate the corporations. That's what they always do. They're like oppressing people and keeping people down and stuff. But it's just so much. And there's none of it. It's so coincidental that he does this and then he does this. If there were moments where it's like you have that fucking montage where he starts to fight back and he builds the things where it feels like he is the one doing it, and there's a tiny one at the end, but it's just not enough. He's not as fun, unfortunately, as the Arnold version of Ben. So that's going to be it. 4 out of 10, slightly below average. You can save your money on this one. So Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Not that great. Running Man, not that great. I don't know how Keeper is. I still have to see that one. Maybe we should have seen Frankenstein. Frankenstein's at home. You can see that on Netflix. So we'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll tell you in the spoilers how it differs from Arnold's, how Arnold's differs from the book, and some of the Easter eggs. Which, by the way, there is an Arnold Easter egg in this, yes. Which I like. But then when I think about it, I'm like, oh no, they're kind of shitty. The implications of it. But I was like, okay.
The implications.
So we'll see you in the spoiler section. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. So at one point when the show is doing its advertisements and commercials, they show you can win money, and then they show the money, and Arnold is on the money. And so you're like, oh, cool, it's referencing, the Arnold's version, and he won a long time ago. No, this is a completely different person because this is Ben, what's his name? Richards. So it can't be Ben Richards. Instead, Arnold was one of the presidents that got elected of this godforsaken, dystopian, shitty, fucking authoritarian corporation-ruled future.
He was also the president in Demolition Man.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah, so Arnold.
That was a crack at with Sly and Arnold's thing.
Right,
Here, when you think about it, you're like, oh no, he's a bad guy in this, maybe, but So I don't know. There's that, and it just. Whew.
So I think
go ahead.
The world here does not feel dangerous at all,
No.
and I think it was supposed to. And I read it a long time ago. The world felt dangerous before because you always felt like the random people were out to get you, and that at some point in this movie, every person in the entire country loves our character so much, despite the fact
any sense.
that they're only getting shown stuff of him being evil because they make AI deepfakes and stuff of him like murdering people, and they show like the kids of the people that he murdered and all this crazy stuff, but somehow the entire country's in love with him for no apparent reason whatsoever.
That's the thing that at the core makes no sense.
And then at the end, even though it would be a life-changing, and I mean truly like generational wealth, everyone loves him, no one will turn him in, and he's like literally walking out in giant groups of people. And it's like
anybody could jabap or anybody can turn him in, and I just never bought that. If you had shown it and then those people are restraining other people, cool, that could help a little bit. But it's just the world just feels completely fake, and it sucks all the tension out of the room. And so now we're just watching, I don't know. It just, So eventually, at the beginning, they show this advertisement for this executive luxury jet and on this other game show. And Glenn's like, I'll go on the game shows where you only get hurt. I won't do the Running Man. He ends up doing the Running Man. He goes and, he stands in line. There are so many people. He's the one that just so happens to get picked, even though he's last in line. And it's because of his anger. He's punching things, breaking things. And they're like, this is good for a final guy. So he gets recruited. And, so it just...
Did we get the other two characters? The nerdy one and
the chick.
Fortunately,
does not fucking matter.
Didn't matter.
None of it fucking
they're in the movie
matters.
for a few minutes.
It's so stupid. It's so over the top. Like they always, if the guy who watches it, the nerdy one, watches the show all the time, he would know what not to do. The first thing he does is go out and do what the nerdy guy always does.
They were doing it for funny, comedic.
And it just,
It just wasn't funny.
It was not.
It was not funny. And then later on, the badass chick who, is going to strippers and
casinos
and spending all her money, she actually gets away, which, again, none of this makes sense. So any of the people there that are gambling that want to win, they would attack her. She's out in the open. While Glenn's character has to constantly hide because random people on the street will turn him in, but yet she's just, is she literally paying everybody off around her more money than they would get from capturing her? No, because she only gets stipends every day. It just doesn't make any sense. And then she's running out. She's getting in the Corvette. She goes off. And even the McCain,
the Hunters,
the McCullen, whatever his name is,
Hunters.
I fucking hated this guy.
Yes,
Can't kill her. So two little redneck boys burn her in a
Yes.
fucking... And I thought this was a misdirect, a joke, that the show is like, look at this, right? And she's still alive, and maybe they'll do something together and expose the network.
No, she didn't.
No, she did die by two redneck boys turning her in and burning her with flamethrowers.
They get money and lifetime supply of cereal.
Because it was just ha, ha, ha. And they play it like this shit is funny.
Yeah.
It was not funny.
No. And then, so I thought they were going to do more with the Hunters, because it turns out, and Lee Pace has been advertising this movie, and he's a 6.5, almost 7 foot tall giant man. You don't miss him. And so you see this dude, he's in a mask the entire fucking time. And at the end, there's a big reveal where Ben's like, take your mask off. And he pulls it off. And I don't know if we're supposed to go, and we're like,
what
hey,
is that?
That's Lee Pace. And then it's like, then he has,
I don't know who that is.
He has to say that, oh, yeah, I was the first guy who got referenced one time in this movie.
In season 1, somebody made it 29
days.
And on the 29th day, they made me a deal because no one can win the Running Man, so they faked his death. And then so he became the Hunter, and he's had to wear a mask the whole time. But me explaining it just now, I did it more than they did in this movie, and there's no impact whatsoever. And it was fucking
He's
dumb.
like, who?
So eventually, that luxury jet ad I talked to you about is important later, because he demands, as the show is winding down and getting close to the 28 days. Well, first he goes to his tech friend who gives him an identity, and that lets him hide out for a day or two. He has dreams that he's getting killed, but it's not real. And then he goes... He just so happens to find an underground resistance through a street urchin kid who takes pity on him, even though the kid could turn him in because he has cancer. But the kid has a heart of gold, and they're part of the resistance, and his big bro is going to help him.
So it's not a resistance. He's a YouTuber.
Oh, he's a YouTuber.
So there's no resistance.
Right. The worst kind of YouTuber where he's wearing it looked like Flavor Flav or something.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, and it's like really annoying. And it's like, why would anybody watch this show?
He just does expose videos, and so there's no resistance. There's no organized effort to take down the networks. It's literally a fucking YouTuber that's like, it's a conspiracy. And
if this is how it is in the book, no wonder motherfucking the Arnold version changed everything to be way better, in my opinion. So then it just so happened to do this, and then they go to the Michael Cera, and then he hooks him up with Michael Cera's character, who just so happens to have a tragic backstory. When the police got corporatized, his dad hated it and went to a hot dog cart and worked an honest job while the other cops showed up and beat him up and disfigured him and killed him. But in the meantime, he had enough money to build an underground bunker and live in the biggest mansion out in the fucking the rich area, and then his son grew up to be Michael Cera, who has a bunch of these booby traps that eventually one day he'll get revenge on all the cops, and so he does call the cops. And his mom, they play his mom as if it's the funniest fucking thing ever. She's like, screaming all the time, kill him, because she loves the show and shit. And it's like, shut the fuck up. I hated it. Yeah. And then he calls the cops on himself because he wants to fuck with the police.
Yeah, he has a button in his house that connects him directly to corporate headquarters to report him.
Yeah. And by the way, they show up literally 5 seconds after they hit the button with all of their equipment, with everything just set up, and then they get the chase sequence, and then he tries to drive to the underground bunker, but then that idea is just dropped because when he shows up to the underground bunker's location,
it's a suburb.
It's a suburb now, and they're building houses on it. Well, go find the underground bunker.
Yeah,
I guess it's hard to because they don't know he doesn't know where it is. So that's dropped. And then he just so happens to get lucky because a lady is driving a fucking self-driving car. Yeah, and
she's a
rich girl, and her scarf costs more than the fucking flu medicine. and we get more of that shit. And then she's like, "You're a killer, and you all like killing people and making money." And he's like, "Look, here's a picture of my family." And she's like, "Oh my God, you're the most amazing,
Only
kind-hearted
nice people
person."
have pictures of their families.
Yeah, you know what? No, I'm gonna stay because I'm gonna prove you wrong.
And then she has to
why?
prove him wrong.
Prove it
because
to
he
herself.
made her feel like a bad person.
She doesn't.
It's so
So
dumb.
she helps him out in his ploy. I've got a bomb. I got enough C4. And they make it, what? C4? There's no C4 in the future.
BFE-20.
It's BF, whatever.
Except for like when they tortured William H. Macy in the beginning, they probably saw that his entire room was filled with bricks of it.
That shit
so they know.
exploded.
They're like,
That doesn't exist. It's like
you just saw it.
Come on.
God damn it.
But that thing would have exploded because he had a shit ton of it. If they lit it on fire.
They did light it,
They
but it
did.
burned his place down. It would have killed
It would have
everyone.
killed everyone in the
Yeah, it would.
Don't think about it, Joe.
By the way, the Macy character, he gets tortured. He gives up the location where
and then they kill him.
And then
they burn him to death.
They kill him.
wasted character.
Wasted character. And then again, all right. So then eventually he demands the luxury jet. And in the book, it turns out that the Ben character dies. He slams the plane into the corporate headquarter tower, okay? And it's a
That's too sad of an ending,
dire
Joe.
ending. It's a sad ending. It's a dystopian ending. And I guess it kind of makes, and then it starts the revolution, which sounds cooler than this.
You can't have a sequel
Yeah.
if you kill off the main character.
So then when he gets on the plane, he's like, I got this bomb. And then because ratings, they let him do this. And because ratings, they let him do that. And so because ratings, they let him get on the plane. And he's like demasked. The guy demasks. And he's like, you sit in the back of the plane. But eventually, Josh Brolin characters come back into the movie. The producer says, we know you're lying the whole time because these planes have fucking plane bomb detectors and they have cameras that can look right through you. No. And they got a bomb detector. And he's, and then the guy gets up and he's going to kill him. And he's like, hey, don't kill him yet. The show is in 5 minutes.
Camera's not on.
And he's go to the back of the plane. But, Ben is so smart, and Glenn Powell's character figures out that, these pilots aren't really pilots. They're hunters because they don't know the number of bathrooms. And then he's like, okay, let me just sit you down. I'm going to make you an offer. And so he puts on the headset. It's only he can hear. And he's like, I killed your whole family. Your family's already dead.
Here's
videos of me killing your family. You got to because he's like, revenge. He's like, get revenge on all these hunters, and the audience will love it. And you can have your own show called Hunter 6. And he's like, what? Why would I get revenge? He's like, because these guys, the first time you killed their friends, they killed your whole family. So then, that was a really intense scene. I'm like, okay, Glenn can fucking act like this. I wish he had a better movie here. And so he gets pissed off and
But this doesn't if that was the hunters, wouldn't be like, hey, we didn't do that. Don't fucking kill us.
Yeah, we're like, you didn't do that.
He's like, oh, we really killed your family?
Right, and on the cameras are filming, and then when the show
They're
starts, why
watching
the
it.
hunters be
The
like, hey,
hunters
we're
are
being
watching
fucking
it.
betrayed by the
Yes,
thing.
he's like-
They would immediately turn, but no. They make sure to say mean things, but not mean things that would expose
Yeah, because
the
they watch
thing.
the TV. They're like, oh, now Ben's going to kill the pilots. And they're like, that's us.
I'm the
Wait,
pilot.
what?
Because
Why
they
would
killed,
he kill us?
They
they
only
killed
send
his
one guy.
family.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see, there's just all these
He's like, you
logic-
making coffee?
It's just, shut up. The movie's going along. And eventually you're like, okay,
Yeah, he's
fine.
like, oh, you making coffee, Ben? Yeah, how do you like it? Ah.
That sounds like you wrote it, Joe.
I didn't kill your pants or your
Let's
fucking
work together.
daughter.
I'll fight the guy at the back of the plane for you.
Propaganda is bad, Ben. Let's ally.
But no, they're evil for evil's sake, so
I
they
know,
keep fighting
it's
him.
stupid.
And then we have a gun battle, and literally gunshots are going. Like he's firing. Like the magazine must have 120 rounds because they keep firing it.
It's future.
And the plane never decompresses until the very end when one bullet decompresses the whole plane. When they already fired 37 bullets in the plane.
They're in a private jet, and Lee Pace is just sitting in the back by himself,
Doing nothing during this time.
knowing that all of his friends are dying, knowing that he's being replaced, and
I don't think they're his
He's
friends.
hiding. No, he's like running in the round trying to find a hiding spot.
He goes to each and every
Yeah.
of the 6
He's like,
bathrooms.
which one should I hide
The
in?
camera really, as our
he doesn't
hero
fit in the
goes
bathroom.
to fight him, he's
That's
in
why he didn't hide in the bathroom.
They show the door in the fucking aisle, and he was in the aisle, and Glenn misses him, and then they have the fight. And he's like, did
How
you
do
know
you-
who I am, you stupid idiot? I was the one that survived 29 days. They'll
They
never
gave
let
me the
you do
same
this
offer
and that.
you got.
It doesn't matter if your family's alive or dead. Who cares
You
or
won't see
whatever.
him. Yeah, you won't see him.
And then how does Ben kill him? He just he's wearing a parachute because he knows that he's in trouble now and he's got to get out. But Ben activates his parachute and half of it comes out while the window got shot out. So he couldn't cut him, or he did do a cut.
It should
with
have
glass,
just crushed him.
That would have been cool,
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
aliens, yeah.
Yeah, that would've been way
Resurrection,
fucking
but
cooler. No.
he's just like.
He's like,
I'll
oh,
cut you
Yeah.
still. And then I guess he
Ben
Yeah,
cuts
he
him.
stabs-
He
he's like,
takes his knife and stabs
fine,
him.
I won't flinch.
So the final boss, which like every single character in Arnold's version was way more interesting than this
Yeah.
one guy. So I was like, oh, well, that sucks. Oh, there was another guy with the yellow glasses,
the
and
blonde,
the blonde
beach
dude.
blonde, yeah.
They're all generic assholes. So when he's fighting them, I'm like, okay, cool. You're doing the generic assholes. We'll get to the gladiators later, and we never do.
That's what I was hoping for, because it's like, oh, meet the hunters. It's like, okay, the hunters. Who else?
Who are they?
The hunters. I was like, oh, okay.
This is
but
not
who
a
else?
popular show. Then
Who
if
else
they're so
do you
generic.
have? No,
I
just
don't believe
hunters.
it.
Okay.
So finally, he's like, okay, well, now that you've killed all the people, I'm going to start the show now, and you're going to say that you were doing the revenge, and you're going to get your own show. And he's like, no. He basically says, fuck you. And then he goes on this speech. He just says things that he shouldn't say that would expose the show. And then Josh's character's like, none of that went on air. I cut you off when you said something. And he's like, instead, I'm going to play this, the deep fake. And you're going to...
I'm going to ram you this
try
jet
to ram
into
the
the
plane
fucking building. Fuck
like
you
the
guys.
ending of the book, but we're going to shoot you out of the sky. And then they shoot him out of the sky. And then the movie, so you think the movie ends, but no.
YouTube block.
YouTube rewind, and then the fucking annoying
pops out.
Flavor Flav pops out, and he's like, "Here's what really happened."
Some
And I'm
crazy
like, is
lady
this a
found the black
cartoon?
box. She found the black box. We have the messages, and we're spreading the message. Everyone go spread the message. Like, yeah,
And he
fight the power.
probably got out in an escape pod, and he probably did this, but no one knows for sure. And then
But see, that as a way to expose the show is less impactful, less believable. The way it happened in the Arnold one is all happened live, and the motherfucker got exposed. There's no way out of it. Here, since it all happened afterwards, the original story's still out there, and people are still going to believe the original story. And they probably got enough money to just pay everybody off that doesn't believe it, Yeah. So it doesn't make sense. But yet then the fucking movie continues, and I'm like, what's happening? And then the guys all. The
Bobby T.
the showrunner's like, I don't want to do the show no more.
You wanted a star, you gave him a star. They don't like me anymore. I'm leaving. Fuck you.
What? So why was he mad? And then he's like, you can't leave, and he puts guns in his face, and he's like, in my contract, and page 47, it says, fuck you. And then he leaves anyway.
Oh.
There's not a single good one-liner in this movie. I just remembered that. I should have put that at the beginning of the room. There's not a single good one-liner in this whole film. Meaning there's no charisma. There's no clever writing. And so then he leaves, and then Josh Brolin's, the producer's like, no, this is my shit. And he goes out there, hello, everybody. And everybody starts throwing Molotov cocktails.
So how do they know to bring Molotovs?
What?
Because we're still in the finale. Like,
Right.
how is any of this happening?
They
right
were
now?
excited for the show,
Crazy
but
crowd,
then,
man.
but then
It's a crazy crowd.
they said
They let
Ben
them bring
Richards
Molotovs
lives.
in.
And
One per guest. One
Oh,
per
I
guest.
see.
So because the audience was, he said he was going to slam his plane and kill us all. Well, let's come back next. And so the people that were in that building left, went about their workday and week, and then came back the next week and said, Ben Richards lives. And they're his fan, but with nothing but propaganda saying this guy was trying to kill you in between. It doesn't make sense. And then they throw Molotov. I guess they were watching the underground pamphlets, but that spread too slowly to get to the people.
They won't read.
Maybe it's different people that came in, and yet security let them in with all these
Molotovs.
signs that says "kill all the rich people." There was like some signs that's like bring down the system, and Josh thinks that he's gonna get these people.
He's going to win
back.
them over.
is
You're gonna win them
stupid.
over.
And this is why it falls apart. And yes, it's filmed technically well. The colors are nice. The
colors, Duke. The colors.
It's like, but this is all, you know, it's hollow.
Ben kills Josh Brolin. He goes 5, 4, and he goes action, and he shoots him in the face.
Because he has the gun that says fate.
So and
Can't
then
escape fate.
like the fan is, I know the questions you're asking. The YouTuber's saying, "Is Ben really alive? And is this thing that thing?" And then they cut away to the mother with the child shopping in a grocery store, and then okay, ma'am, that man over there paid this for you, and you have some socks here. He bought these socks, and she's she looks over, and he's in his hoodie. And she goes to him, and oh my God, the feels. I didn't feel nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
And then he shows up in that hoodie later on when the audience is tearing the show apart, and he walks up to Josh and he goes, you know, action in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then shoots him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We don't know. We didn't see it.
It was very nice.
It
was very nice of the network to honor the contract and pay the family all that money to get him out.
That's what I was. Thank you for. I was about to just forget because the amount of stupidity. It was like that family would be watched for the rest of their life. Then also, what happened to the DNA analyzers? They make sure to show that every street lamp has these things that go beep and that can just smell your DNA.
That's why you got to go underground, which he never went underground.
But if you wear a hoodie, Joe, with a fucking hat, forget about it. The DNA analyzer's so confused. This man's DNA, maybe he had a bunch of...
That's why I leave my DNA everywhere. You can't catch me.
Maybe he had a bunch of dudes' DNAs all over his hoodie.
Quick, give me your DNA.
Everybody, give me your DNA.
Like Arnold and the fucking Predator.
Cloaked. He was cloaked in DNA. We're making a better movie already. That's probably a porno at this point.
Oh,
but anyways, and then he shoots the executive, and so he wins. Ben Richards wins in the end.
And now there can be a sequel.
No, there's no sequel.
No, I hope
This
not.
is going to lose a lot of money, I think. If you said it cost 115,
110, yeah.
And if they
Probably
advertise
marketing,
and
too.
in marketing, I think this is going to lose a bunch of money because this is a rated R movie. They don't make a lot of money anyway. And honestly, I don't think it's very good. I don't even think mass audiences are going to think it's.
Mojo, the word of mouth isn't going to help it.
I think people will like it well enough, but I don't think people are going to be like, you have to go see this movie.
They'll like it more than we liked it,
Yeah.
and call us, I don't know, certain names for not liking it. Okay, so here,
That's okay.
Oh, they don't have the stats for it yet on Box Office Mojo, but I can update you on the AJS news and shit. But yeah, all right. Well, I think that's it. I think we're pretty much covered. I mean, there's so much. It's so hard to pack it all in here because it's that fast.
It's also 4 hours long.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's it. Thank y'all guys so much for watching. And we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.